Hello, everyone. We are back for our final segment today, and I am joined by Miss Brittany on my left and Lance on my right. And we want to wrap up today's show by concentrating on the program, the Real Talk Youth Impact Program, how this program is really changing the lives of youths with the collaborators that they're bringing into the program. Lance, you've had an opportunity to be witness to a Change One. What was that experience about?
It was great. When I first talked with Shireen, she told me about the program. I was very interested when the first one actually was at the beginning of the year. We were able to attend, and we brought some other vendors with us that offer services. And that was one of the key things, was involving the community, that number when the program existed, and how to benefit these kids. So when we were speaking to some of the children, and you start to find out what their interests are. And in most of the cases, some of the kids just needed that hope and that's attention, and they find out, oh, you actually care. There's stuff that we're being offered to change us. You're not thinking that we're a lost cause. And so it was amazing just in the few hours that we were there to see how the program worked with the effective speakers, because you have different walks of life, explaining of like, this is where you're headed, but it's done out of love. And then the other thing was to then provide activities for them and the parents. So it's engaging the family as a whole unit, where it's not just like, all right, the kids are part of the problem. It's like, no, you have to work together as a familial unit. So I like how Cherie runs the program. I thought it was great. I think we need more programs like that to address the problem, rather than to just kind of move the kids away. And we see that too much, where it's like, you're a problem, get out of here. It's like, no, address it. Right. Give them an opportunity, and it's amazing how they can change.
I understand that you're bringing quite a few referrals to the program. Where are those referrals coming from?
Well, we brought Miss Williams. She was one of the referrals. Okay. We brought just the network that we have, everyone from the Boy Scouts, Ryuku Dojo, which are some Olympic athletes that wanted to get involved. People that do VYA, Vegas Youth Ambassadors, another organization that works with children. So people start seeing, there's talents that we have. How can we offer this to the community? And then they start finding out that kids have different interests. So rather than just saying, okay, I want all these kids to do martial arts. Well, some kids don't care about martial arts, but they want to learn how to cook. So we bring in turntable nutrition. And what they do is they developed a course where over the span of weeks, they'll show the kids, number one, the basics of cooking, and they learn a recipe. Now, this program can repeat each month, so when you have a new group of kids, you don't have to keep on making 50 classes. They just learn more about cooking and a new recipe.
I see.
And so one of the things that we wanted with the vendors that we brought in was to actually teach the kids. Uh-huh. It's not just bodies to fill your program. It's mentor these children so they have skill sets and they can go out there and actually benefit the community.
Okay. And Brittany, after witnessing a Change One, what are your thoughts on the program itself?
Well, I think it's pretty awesome program. I was only able to be there for the very end of the last week, but when I first heard about it, I knew I was going to be in. I was like, okay, we're going to figure out how to be a part of it. So I'm not super involved in it yet, but that's why we're here, and that's why we're just going to keep on moving with it. Because I did get to see a handful of kids there, and like you said, they just need people to know. Or they need to know that people are there, they're interested in helping them, and they have options. They can get out of their situations they're in, they can move forward. They don't have to be stuck doing the same thing.
You're both motivational speakers. What was your opinion on the members when they were speaking to the children?
I like that. I wouldn't judge how someone else gives their story, because we all have different testimonies on how we speak. And again, they're doing it out of love. I think that was the key thing that I saw with all the speakers, because everyone's like, well, this person speaks differently. Well, of course, they're different speakers, but they're doing it out of love. They're actually concerned about these children. They don't want them to fall into the same system or make the same mistakes that they've made. And so I think when you have different people, they're going to reach, one woman might reach 5 children, this other one might reach 10 children. It's based on who you can connect with. So I think the diversity of the speakers, where she brings in both men and women that have been in the system, now they're relatable. And that's what they need. If you have someone come and say, I've never gotten into trouble, the kids are going to be like, why are you here talking to us? You don't know anything. But if you bring in someone who's like, I've been messing up, I was stealing cars, I was doing this, the kid's like, well, that's me. And they say, look, I cleaned up my life. There is hope for you. Because I think a lot of the children that we've talked and we've seen, they're being taught, they have no hope. So why would you be like, well, I don't care? Once you find out someone's been through it and worse and made it out, you go, wait a minute, I don't have to get to that point. You can learn. So I like how she has the speakers come in and do that. I think it's I don't want to say scared straight, because it's done from love, and it offers other opportunities outside of that as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, outside of the referrals, what's your vision for collaborating with the program?
Well, I know what we're doing. One of the initial things is we offer classes through the foundation. So one of the things is that we're actually taking the children, not just putting them through an exercise program, but actually turning them into trainers, so they can learn the aspects of like physiology, things like this. Like what? We're teaching young kids this, so they don't just learn movement, but they learn why they're doing it. They then can say, well, wait a minute, I'm actually interested in this program. I can move forward and actually pursue this degree in kinesiology or something else. And the other thing is ministering. We want to start to bring the youth ministry to the kids, because that's a huge part of the program. Our foundation is a faith-based organization, and so providing someone realistic hope with education is really how you make a change. If we just provide education and there's a spiritual lack that's there, you see it's like, why are all these things happening? When people find hope and they start to see, well, Jesus saved me. Like, his message was love. Mm-hmm. And that translates to these kids when they see, because children can see right through you. If you're lying, they'll be like, nope. They know this stuff. And so when you are sincere, they pick up on this. And when you're there for them and not yourself, that's the thing. We can lie to you're not going to lie to a child because they pick up. So I think I'm excited with Cherie that we can collaborate on all these different things, and actually I'm grateful to be a part of the program.
How did you actually hear about the program?
Lori, who was one of the speakers in the program, actually gave her testimony on our show.
Yeah, we've actually had Lori here in the studio.
Hi, Lori. She was, she connected Cherie and myself, and then we started talking. And I hadn't heard of the program, and then when Cherie told me, I'm like, I want to get involved in this. This is a great program. All things are purposed, and so from that point on, we moved forward. We went to the first meeting in January, and so it's thanks to Lori. She kind of put us in contact, so it was great. And to have her say, to go down there and speak to the kids, and she can see, because it gives the speakers, I know obviously from speaking to her, that they didn't waste their life. Even though they've been through some things, it's now helping someone else. And that was the point, is that if you've gone through something, it wasn't just what did this happen, it was to help someone else.
How are the children engaging in the program when you were at the last Change One?
Like I said, I was there at the very end.
Oh, at the very end.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What was that guy? Do you remember the guy's name?
Which one? Speaking? Well, there was a few. It was funny because a few of the kids, you have like a difference. You got some of the kids are like getting smart because they don't know yet. They don't know what life is like. And sometimes it was some of the younger ones, but even when they're corrected, it's done out of love. Most of the kids are engaged. I know that there was a demo done by Vegas Hot, which is at Ryuko, which is the martial arts studio that's done out of there. They came and did a demo. The kids were engaged. Like, they weren't just sitting there goofing off. They were paying attention. Uh-huh. And so it's good to see that. With any group, you're going to see some people that don't, but eventually they'll get it. So I think the majority of the people that definitely the majority of the kids were engaged. Okay. I think they were grateful from what we saw.
And Brittany, what's your idea of collaborating with the program? What do you want to bring to the Real Talk Youth Impact Program?
Well, like we were talking about before, I think the big thing for me is very important as a woman, a young woman who's been in the industry, beauty, health, fitness industry, and knowing how that is, plays an impact on our society. I think that's my main goal, is to let especially young women know, okay, you don't have to try to aspire to be like anybody else. Just be the best version of yourself that you can. Don't let anybody tell you that you are any less than what you are. Don't get me started. I will keep going. That's important for me. And then also just all the network that we have. There's so many people that we know that may not know about the program. So the more people that can kind of get the word out there and bring more people to be involved, other instructors, other programs, and it can just expand so much further than it really is.
Well, I want to thank you both for your time, but I also want you to be able to share your contact information. I know you have a website out there.
You can find us online at culturalartstraining.org. You can find our ministry at hopeandthetruth.org.
And Brittany?
Well, you can just find me on Facebook. You can contact me through both the website also, but Facebook, or email onlyonequeenb13@gmail.com.
How did I know there would be a queen in that?
I tried.
Thanks again, both of you, and we will see you next time on Real Talk.
Thank you.